Okay, so picture this. You're walking along, minding your own business, and then whoosh, you're not where you were a second ago. You're in a place that feels familiar, but profoundly wrong. The air is thick with the stink of old, moist carpet. Fluorescent lights hum with an almost unbearable buzz, casting a sickly, endless yellow glow. And there are millions of square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms stretching out before you. No exits, just this. This isn't some abstract thought experiment, folks. This is the Backrooms, and it's one of the most fascinating, unsettling, and explosively collaborative digital lore phenomena the internet has ever cooked up. What started as a single eerie image has morphed into a sprawling, terrifying universe that has captivated millions, inspired Hollywood, and even changed the way we look at mundane spaces. It's a glitch in reality, a digital urban legend, and a masterclass in collective horror. So how did we get here? How did this specific, deeply unsettling nightmare become a global sensation? Our story begins, as many strange internet sagas do, on 4chan, specifically the paranormal discussion board /X. It was May 2019, and an anonymous user threw out a simple prompt: post disquieting images that just feel off. Among the replies, one image stood out: a photograph of an empty, yellow-hued office space, drenched in the harsh, flat light of fluorescent tubes. No people, no furniture, just an oppressive emptiness. But it wasn't just the image, it was the text that came with it, a chilling, concise paragraph that birthed an entire universe. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old, moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. That phrase, no clip out of reality, was the key, a video game term for slipping through environment boundaries into an unfinished void. Applying that to reality itself, pure genius. It instantly tapped into something primal, the idea that our world isn't as solid as we think, that cracks exist. What's wild is the photo itself has a surprisingly mundane origin. For years, it was a mystery, almost assumed a digital render. But in May 2024, dedicated internet detectives finally tracked it down. It was taken in 2002 or 2003 during the renovation of a former furniture store in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, becoming a hobby town. Just a regular photo waiting for its moment to become a portal to dread. That 4chan post went viral, and quickly. What happened next is a testament to the power of collective online storytelling. People didn't just share it, they added to it. The concept exploded across Reddit, particularly on subreddits like r/creepypasta, and most importantly, the dedicated r/backrooms. This was where the real world building began. Users started sharing their own stories, interpretations, and terrifying additions to this emergent digital space. The most significant development was the introduction of levels. The original Yellow Room became known as Level 0. But what if there were other levels? What if you could transition from one nightmare space to another? This idea unlocked a floodgate of creativity. Suddenly, the Backrooms wasn't just a place, it was an entire complex. Level 1 became a disorienting, endless parking garage. Level 2, a maze of maintenance tunnels. Today, wikis boast thousands of unique levels, each with its own bizarre rules, dangers, and environmental characteristics. And where there's danger, there are entities. The original post hinted at something wandering around nearby. The community ran with that. Soon, the Backrooms were populated by an array of hostile creatures: hounds, skin stealers, smilers, and countless others. These entities provided tangible threats to the existential dread, turning abstract fear into something concrete and monstrous. The lore expanded further with concepts like wanderers, the unfortunate souls trapped within, trying to survive, and organizations like the MEG, the Major Explorer Group, emerged in the lore dedicated to documenting, exploring, and surviving these impossible spaces. It started to feel less like a single creepypasta and more like a fully fleshed out fictional universe, much like the famous SCP Foundation. But with such rapid, decentralized expansion came a natural consequence: contradictions. As the lore grew wilder, a faction of fans who preferred the original, minimalist, existentially terrifying vision emerged. They formed subreddits like r/Backrooms, dedicated to preserving the initial unsettling simplicity, free from the thousands of levels and cartoonish entities that some felt diluted the original terror. This rapid, organic growth was phenomenal, but the backrooms were about to jump from internet niche to global phenomenon thanks to a 16-year-old American YouTuber named Kane Parsons, better known as Kane Pixels. On January 7th, 2022, Kane uploaded The Backrooms Found Footage. This short film, created with incredible skill using Blender and Adobe After Effects, depicted a filmmaker in the 1990s accidentally no-clipping into the backrooms and being pursued by an unknown, horrifying monster. It was a masterclass in analog horror, using a retro VHS aesthetic, unsettling sound design, and genuinely terrifying creature effects. Kane's video didn't just go viral, it exploded. It provided a visual blueprint, a definitive aesthetic, and a compelling narrative framework that resonated with a massive audience. It ignited a surge in backrooms content, pushing the concept firmly into the mainstream. It was the moment the backrooms truly arrived. Kane Pixels' video wasn't just a hit, it was a game changer. His series, which quickly expanded, began to develop its own intricate lore, separate from the collaborative wiki. He introduced concepts like the Async Research Institute, their experiments with low-proximity magnetic distortion systems in the 1970s and 80s, and the first contact event in October 1989. This added a pseudo-scientific, grounded, if still terrifying explanation for the backrooms' existence within his cinematic universe. The impact was undeniable. The backrooms, born from an anonymous image and collective imagination, was now legitimate enough to catch Hollywood's eye. In February 2023, the prestigious film studio A24, known for its critically acclaimed horror films, announced a feature film adaptation of The Backrooms. And guess who was set to direct? None other than Kane Parsons himself. From a teenager making Blender videos to directing a major studio film. That's the power of digital lore. The film, Backrooms, is currently slated for release in May 2026. This journey from obscure forum post to major motion picture perfectly encapsulates the trajectory of the backrooms. It continually evolves, surprises, and reveals new layers. Even the original image's true origin, a mundane photograph from a Wisconsin renovation in the early 2000s, remained a mystery until 2024. The internet, in its own diligent way, keeps digging, keeps uncovering. So why does the backrooms matter? What's its lingering impact on our digital and cultural landscape? First, the backrooms is widely credited with popularizing the internet aesthetic of liminal spaces. These are transitional, eerie, uninhabited environments that evoke disorientation, nostalgia, and unease. Think vacant shopping malls, deserted hallways, empty playgrounds at dusk. The backrooms tapped into a shared human experience of in-betweenness, and now liminal space is a widely recognized term. It also cemented the power of analog horror and found footage in the modern era. Kane Pixels' work showed how effectively a retro, degraded visual style could amplify psychological terror, resonating deeply with younger audiences. Psychologically, the backrooms hits hard. Its empty, repetitive, familiar yet off environments trigger deep-seated anxieties, isolation, entrapment, existential dread, and the uncanny valley. It's a commentary on the mundane routines of modern life, corporate capitalism, and the fear of being lost in a system that doesn't care. Its influence is everywhere. Beyond the A24 film, indie video games like Escape the Backrooms and Pools have flourished. Shows like Apple TV Plus's Severance, with its maze-like corporate offices, explicitly cited the backrooms as an influence. An episode of American Horror Stories even featured a backrooms-like setting. From anonymous forum posts to action figures and Hollywood films, the backrooms is a powerful example of decentralized collaborative storytelling. It proves that a single, compelling idea, shared online, can grow into a vast, terrifying, and deeply influential universe. It's not just a story, it's a testament to the collective imagination of the internet, and it reminds us that sometimes the scariest places are the ones that feel a little too familiar.